Let's continue on here in Reign Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs because I do have this surprise for you. So let me go ahead and give you a little production value before I bring this gentleman on because I've got something for you. I don't have any theme music, but I'm working on that, and I'll get that when we get back. But let me just get the graphic up because I got a graphic for this. I want to introduce you to a new segment and possibly a new show coming up. I'm going to put this on the screen. Hen from the pen. It's the one and only Mike Henneman joining us. I'm bringing him on in 3, 2, 1. Here he is, surprise guest.
Hey,
Mike.
Hey, Dan.
Hey. What are you doing, Mike?
I'm sitting in my truck out here at Heritage Park. I take a drive during the day so I can get off that dang bed because of my foot. I got to get out and get some air, but now I got snow.
Oh, no, snow. Yeah, snow's time. There he is, Mike Henneman. He is the pitching coach of the Monarchs. Of course, a former big leaguer, former Tiger. And, of course, I always talk about the Rangers times with him. But, Mike, we're going to start doing this more often because I think the hen from the pen is a pretty cool deal, and you're wanting to do it. First off, catch us up.
Yeah.
Catch us up on how your wheel is. You got 2 of them now?
How about the semi? I got a good one and a semi. But they told me I'm able to walk at the end of this month.
Okay.
Because I've got to go to Detroit for an appearance. So what the doctor says, I probably ain't going to do.
Well,
that's just the way I roll.
Yeah, that's the doctor's orders, so to speak, right? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, my wife kind of gets on me about that, but you know what? She'll be okay.
Now, you've been paying attention to the roster. You pretty excited to see some of those names back? Pretty fired up? I know you've been busy with that.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Joe and I talk, at least twice a week, and Joe is just phenomenal. I love the man. And we're putting together a staff, which we already have a very good staff. We lost Eric to the Cubs, but that's what we're all about, is getting them ready. And I'm very excited about this club. Now, I just seen you. You couldn't see me because I am technologically pathetic. I can't do that crap. But I seen Darryl, and I was like, I was talking to my phone. And I go, he don't hear me. So, anyhow, I got to figure it out. But, I am very excited about our pitching staff. We're going to add a couple guys that, we're going to pick, I've got one go, and that's to do what we did last year.
Gotcha. You've coached at the affiliate level and in the independent level. What are the differences for you? Is there a difference to the two, or do you do the same job no matter what?
Actually, I love my job right here. And the affiliate, you are told who to pitch. You are told who to play. And it's like the manager's got to call in every day to the front, to Detroit, to Texas, where you're at, and find out, who do I play today? Right. And right here, it's all up to Joe. JoJo's got total control. He and I talked during the game about, who do you think come in? How many innings, how many pitches, blah, blah. And we communicate so great. He's a blast. He's fun.
All those Tigers years, and you mentioned it going back, how often do you talk to your Tigers brethren, your teammates, the guys you played with? You still pretty tied in with those guys?
I am very tied in to, I talked to Jack Morris the other day. I talked to Lou Whitaker the other day. I talked to Alan Trammell the other day. And to let you know, Dan, that these gentlemen, Jeff Montgomery, Monty and I are good friends here in KC. They are willing to come on and then chat with you throughout the season. That's right. They said, heck yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we got this.
So good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck to me. We got this hidden from pen thing working too. I love that. I'm all fired up. We got some good stuff here working there. Did you? Let's go back to last season. Sure. Was there a point in the season where you looked at Joe, or Joe looked at you, or you looked at Frank, or Frank looked at you and he said, "Dang, we're pretty good"?
Not really. You know, Joe, as long as he takes his heart medicine, he's okay. But he gets all riled up, and you know, he's got about 3 towels for his head, and I could always tell. But Joe would never admit the fact that what we seen and we knew. You don't do that as a coach. You know you're a bunch of badasses,
Right.
but you shut up because you never know what's going to happen.
Right. Right.
And I remember one day I was sitting in the dugout, and it was kind of a close game. I think during the playoffs, and Casey come up to me, and he goes, Henny, I said, what's on your mind now? Because you're a fool. I don't want to hear it. He goes, we got this. He goes, we got this. We were down maybe, oh, shucks, maybe a run. He goes, Henny, we got this. Quit sweating. Sit there. All right, Case. And by golly, went out and just, you know, they did their thing, man. That team is awesome.
Was awesome. It sounds like we're talking to Darnell earlier. Of course, Joe earlier than mine. The band back together. Is it Monarchs 2.0? You think? I mean, we a little early, but is it Monarchs 2.0?
I think some people in the league got some issues coming up, and they ain't gonna get W's. Because our Joe has put together the squad again, you know. We got our pitchers coming in. We got some signing, which is our job to do. And, you know, go ahead and look at that starting rotation.
Right.
And then say, go get them. Bye. Go. Because you're in trouble.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Of course, you were a reliever. So, do you look at things as a coach differently through reliever's eyes, or how does that translate when you deal with the starter? Is it pitching's pitching?
Pitching is pitching, but when you're talking about, and I was fortunate enough when in Detroit, when I first came up, I was a middle reliever. I had to earn my stuff because
Right.
Willie Hernandez just came off the MVP of the World Series,
Right.
and I signed out of Oklahoma State, and I said, wow, I'm really going to go far in this game. You earn your stripes, and I understand the middle relieving. I understand the mop-up. I understand the setup. Obviously, I know what closing's like. The starting pitching, Jack Morris, you know, he was always a treat because I lockered next to him and Alan Trammell. You learn. And back then, I had nothing but veterans with Detroit at that time, and man, you shut up and you listen.
Right.
If not, you're in trouble.
Right. Well, closing's what you eventually, became. I remember you as a closer. I mean, that's what I remember in your times in Detroit. Your time
closing down there in Texas.
Closing out in Texas, but is closing what it used to be? Is it still the same? Has it changed at all since those times you were playing?
There's only one thing that's changed, and that's when you look at your bank account.
There's that.
Closing is a mental disaster. I mean, you could be on such a great roll. And doing, you can't not get somebody out for some reason.
Right.
But I'll tell you a little story. As a rookie, it was in 1989, we went out to the West Coast. And I could not get anybody out. And we're talking Seattle, the Angels, in Oakland. I could not get anybody out. And boy, got back on that plane afterwards. And I remember going to, we got off the bus, and I walked right by my ex-wife, who was pregnant with my oldest son. And Sparky Anderson was right there, first seat, looking out the window right by the stairs where Joe is. And I walked right by her. And you want to talk about, I don't know what I can. I know what I can say, but I can't say it. What a chewing! Next day was a Monday. We got the day off. I get a phone call at the house in Detroit, and my ex-wife goes, Mike, Sparky's on the phone with you. I said, no, I'm over here. He's on that phone. And she goes, you got to talk to him. And then he goes, come on down to Henry Ford in Detroit, which is near the stadium. And he goes, let's go. You had a rough week, didn't you? Boy, oh boy. And he was being sarcastic and just wanting to stab me. And I go, yeah, it was kind of tough. And he goes, well, let's go. Went up to Children's Hospital. Took me around to all the babies' rooms that had cancer that, this one, 2 weeks. This one, maybe a month. We don't know about this one. Get in there and say hi. Give her a ball, a hat, whatever, a bear. We had a bunch of tiger bears and gave him a bear. We left there, get back to the Tiger Stadium in the parking lot. He goes, so what do you think now, asshole? I'm like, oops. Yes, I got your point, sir. So it's a mental game, and it can wear on you being a closer, but no, you got to rebound.
Right.
After that, things came into perspective.
Yeah, I was going to say perspective changes a lot of things, doesn't it? And life in general, Mike. I mean, it can be anything. Perspective, it can change a lot of things.
Yeah, you just get a different viewpoint when you thought you were locked in on something that you thought was horrible or you thought was so great. Next day you find out, no, that ain't. And no, it's not that bad.
Right.
And no,
right.
It's not that good. So you
right.
stay, to me, you got to stay even keel, except for when I get kicked out of games in the Monarchs because I disagree.
Right. Well, one more thing here. Mike Henneman with us here on Reign Reborn. Dan Vaughan with you. That's who I am. We're just chatting along. It's him from the pen, Mike Henneman, the Monarchs pitching coach and former big leaguer, and he is taking time to join us here. Wrapping things up here, I was just looking at some notes on odds and ends. Have we become too specialized in baseball as far as pitching, or are you like the specialization of this guy here, this guy there? Is it too specialized?
I think the specialization at the end of the game is fine. Like, we had, last year, we had our boys. We had 3 guys at the end of the year.
Right.
If I needed a lefty Diaz, get in there and do it and don't talk to me. And then we had Rosie. And I love that guy. He's just a great man. Then I had the idiot from Massachusetts, J-Mo, who just gave me a headache. J-Mo, why don't you try this grip? Why don't you try that? Nope. I know the spin rate. And I said, yeah, that spin rate of that last ball was about 180 and then went out in the center field. And you hit the boys in the bullpen with giving up that big fly. Nice spin rate, brother. Love him. J-Mo's a crazy. He's just a fool. I loved it. But I don't mind the end of the game stuff at all because there's times that, the so-called closer, he's got to have some help.
Right.
You get Big Poppy up there and you're not feeling it that day. Guess what's going to happen? That thing's going to, bye-bye. See ya. Well, you had a lefty up. Why didn't you use it? Because I stink today.
Right.
Final, I have no problem with it.
One final thing for Mike Henneman here on Hen from the pen. Is there a baseball movie out there that you would say that's as close to what it's really like? Or because a lot of times, everybody argues about the best baseball movie. Is there one out there that you say that's what it's close to being like? Or are you have any recommendations?
The one Kevin Costner was in.
For the Love of the Game, right? Or there's some of them. For the Love of the Game or Bull Durham?
Love of the Game.
Right.
Yes,
yep.
I got a phone call in Detroit, and somebody asked me, it was a producer, can you give us a little insight about it? Because he had the Tiger uniform on. He was fixing to retire.
Right.
And I go, for what reason? I'm always asking why. And it was for that movie.
Right.
So a lot of stuff that Costner does in there, in the hotel room, just different things he says. We were able to talk about it, and he is very close to what when it comes down at the end of it. That's tough.
Gotcha.
It's tough. I love all baseball. I drilled Tom Selleck in his booty in spring training because he popped off. Yeah, he was chirping.
Tom Selleck was chirping?
Yeah, because my ex-wife came into town and he wanted me to go out, and I'm like, no, I can't. My Lisa's here. And I said, no, I'm not going out. No. So the next day in the locker room, there was a lot of stuff missing out of my locker and a lot of stuff put in. I'm like, okay. So he's taking BP, okay, because he always got there early in Lakeland because he's a Tiger man.
Right.
And so there so happened to be the next day some stuff. You got a sore arm. You put in icy hot and red hot.
Right.
Yeah. And it just so happened to be there was something in his area that he put on. So I look around the corner and he's going, he's in the cage hitting. He's a very great athlete, very great guy. Tom, just good friend. And he started screaming because I guess the pores opened up and the heat went in. So he had a problem.
Just a little.
He was screaming at me, and I'm like, I don't know what happened. What's wrong? Next day I drilled him, but he had some issues with his uniform.
Well, he's a lot. In my college fraternity, we didn't go to school together. Obviously, we're in the same fraternity, so I'm a big fan of his. But that's interesting. I can't wait to share that to some of my fellow brothers. That's very good. That's very good.
No, it's a true fact story, and he got on the air the other. It's been a couple years ago, maybe two, in Detroit, because the story is out in Detroit. It's in somewhere in the Free Press or news about everything that occurred, and he told me he took me deep, which is not a true statement, but that's okay. I'm going to let him have his little hoorah.
Mike Henneman, thank you, sir, for stopping by. We're going to be doing this again in a couple of weeks, right? When we get back.
Sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Him from the pen, we're calling. I'm going to get some music, and I got a graphic already, but I get some music. What kind of music do you like? Was there a certain kind of jams you like?
You don't want to know.
Okay. I'll just freelance then.
I go from Metallica to Garth Brooks. I just love music. That's what I do on my ride.
Well, Garth's an Okie State guy, so I guess that makes sense, right?
Yeah, there's a story behind that one, too.
Well, we'll save it. We got to save some of these good ones.
Yeah, he got me in trouble.
All right, we'll save that one.
Okay. That's on the burner.
Mike, I appreciate your time. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
I will talk to you in 2 weeks, brother. Take care, Dan.
There he is. Mike Henneman, that is him from the pen. I appreciate him joining us on the show. That is the surprise that I was mentioning. And because, actually, a couple things. Mike and I were trying to work out the technical side of it, but and he just pulled the curtain back, approached me, said, he watches the show, into what we're doing, and wants to be part of things, and I think that's really cool. And I appreciate Mike stopping by, and I appreciate him being a part of what we're doing. Thank you. I want you fans to know this as we close, because we went a little long here, and I'm going to move some things in the podcast, but I want you fans to know just how special from a field staff perspective things are. You've heard from Darnell Sweeney, you've heard from Mike Henneman, and you heard some of the same things. You can tell there's a lot of love for our game and for our brand, for you folks, for what we're doing. And things are very, very good hands. Things are in very good hands. And I want you guys to know that. And, when I hear this, and we're going on holiday next week, my wife and I are, but I'm ready for the season today. And when you hear Mike and you talk to Joe and John West and Darnell Sweeney and hear the stories about Casey and Darnell and all that, you really, really, really get an in-deep idea of just how special the Monarchs brand is. And that's why my 2 good minutes earlier, thank you very much, GM. So my 2 good minutes earlier was sort of, again, because I kind of went out of order here, but I want you folks to remember that no matter what the big leagues are doing, play or not play, that we're still going to play ball and we're still going to show love, empathy, and grace and love of each other. And you're seeing that time and time again with this Monarchs brand. And so I hope, and again, I challenged you folks earlier, do what you're doing. Continue to do, he's a fun guy. Do what you're doing. Continue to do what you're doing, but also share what we're doing. Share these shows. Share the ticket links. Share when we're doing something. Let people know. There's an opportunity for all of us here to really make a difference in our metro area, in our region, in our country, all of that through what we're doing at the Monarchs. So, again, hit from the pin right there. It's a segment, and we're working on doing possibly our own standalone show.